Celtic Park. This stadium has seen some great action over the years, but it's changed in size and structure too. Back in the old days, well over 100,000 people would cram in here to see their football team. Nowadays, this stadium has the capacity for 60,832 people. If we were to host an event and invite every single person in Scotland who has Alzheimer's, we would still have a queue out the door. We would need another stadium. So here we are in Fir Park in Motherwell, a capacity of 13,700. So maybe if our estimates are correct, we can now get everyone with Alzheimer's in Scotland into the grounds. That's about 82,000 people that we know about. But what about the carers and their families? Ibrox Stadium holds 51,000 people, not even enough to have a carer each. Here we are at Scotland's National Stadium, Hampden Park. It seats 52,000 people, but we still wouldn't have enough space to accommodate all the people affected by Alzheimer's in Scotland today. My name is Tommy Whitelaw. I'm a full-time carer for my mum Joan, and I have been for the last 4 years. She has dementia. My previous life, just like my mum's, is all but forgotten due to this cruel and all-encompassing condition. Dementia affects more than 82,000 individuals across Scotland every year, and countless more family members. In 2011, I decided to undertake a walk. I wanted to go out and meet people who share the same experiences of caring for someone with dementia like I have. I visited workplaces, football teams, and met with politicians. But most of all, I collected letters and emails from people who are caring just like me. So many people have shared their experiences with me of what life is like living with and caring for someone with dementia. The letters I collected have inspired me, and I hope they will help you understand the massive impact that dementia has across our whole society.
I look after my husband, the husband I've lost. I've done the grieving for him, and I'll never get him back. I've lost the future I was hoping for. It's not really your husband anymore. When I looked at the future ahead of me, I think, just forget it. To get through, you just have to deal with one day at a time. I feel very lonely and isolated with no one to talk to most of the time.
Before Ian took dementia about 4 years ago, we used to talk about the things we would do when he retired, but sadly we never got to do anything. I am the mother figure and Ian is the child instead of being husband and wife. It took me a while to realise that I was a carer, as I felt that it was my duty, but I am a carer.
I looked after my wife for the last 7.5 years. The worst thing I hated is when I woke up in the morning and my wife asked me who I was. I told her I was her man, and she says, "No, you're my brother, what are you doing in my bed?" "Are we married?" "Yes." I got this every morning, and it was heartbreaking. I had my retirement planned, but when my wife got dementia, my world collapsed around her about me. And finally the doctor told me that my wife had to go into a home, which broke my heart.
Being a carer for such a long time had a massive impact on my life. The need for informal carers will not disappear, and most people want to do it when it comes their way. But I believe that the strain on carers is unknown and largely ignored. The cost of paying for informal carers would be enormous, and I understand that it would be an unbearable strain on resources. But some thought has to go into supporting willing carers to prevent them from having a physical or mental health illness because of their input.
So while I'm here, it's Dementia Awareness Week, and I think I want to say something about dementia. My mum's been cared for this week in Lambhill Court Nursing Home, and that just happens to be the school my mum first attended 66 years ago when she was 5. When I was down there last night, I thought about my mum getting in the doors of that as a school 60 years ago. And you go to school to learn and absorb information, and you meet new friends, and you discover love, you discover hate, you discover the moon, the sun and the stars. Then you go to high school and you meet new friends, you lose friends, and you keep educating yourself and you absorb all this and you take it in and it builds you into the person you are. Then you go out and you get a job and you work hard. And for every pair of shoes you've got, you give your children 2 pair. And for every jacket you've got, you buy your children 2 jackets. And you meet a man and you fall in love with him. And you love him for 44 years and you nurse him when he's dying. And your heart is broken when you lose that man. And then 66 years later, your son takes you back through the same doors or the school that you attended, and you forgot every single bit of that 66 years. And that's the tragedy of dementia. My mum doesn't remember all those good points, bad points, happy points, sad. And she can't remember my dad, the man she loved for 44 years. And that's the most heartbreaking thing about this illness. So I just want to say that, and that's my wee mum, the hardest working wee woman I've ever met in my life. But my wee mum's the same as 80,000 other people who are struggling with dementia and people who are caring for them.